The Dogs survive in Athens on homecoming against the Missouri Tigers. Don't act like you weren't nervous. Don't act like you didn't have that bucket, Georgia fan. But at the end of the day, only one team can win and only one team can lose every game. And Georgia won and Missouri lost, and the undefeated train just keeps on rolling. We'll talk about it tonight on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's episode brought to you by Game Time. GameTime.co. Download the app. Get tickets straight to you. $20 off. Promo code Locked On. More on them in a moment. But Daniel, this game against Missouri Tigers is in fact over.
Yeah,
we had feels. The buckets were there.
They're
have
full.
lots. They are full. I don't know what you had for your hydration plan today, but it has gone out the window. It's not here anymore. We are talking all about the injuries that happened, the defensive performance, the offensive performance, what Missouri did well against us, and what we're looking forward to the rest of the time. But let's just start here. The biggest test to date, the best offense, the second best offense in the SEC. Yes, I'm including LSU in on that because, again, LSU has one thing they do well, and that is throw the ball. They cannot run the ball. And let's start there, Daniel, because Missouri
biggest test to date.
Biggest test to date. Missouri came in and they ran. They ran where they wanted.
The defense failed that test. I'm not gonna mince words here. This is called the overreaction show. If you were looking for a regular reaction, you've come to the wrong show.
You're a homer.
Yeah, I'm a homer because I'm gonna sit here and tell you that even though Georgia won that game, the Georgia defense got embarrassed on the field, and it wasn't by Luther Burden and Cook and Weasel or Weiss or Wiener or whatever his name was on the side over there.
Here we go.
It was by Schrader and the offensive line of the Missouri Tigers just whipping us up front. The linebackers, and I'm talking about from A to Z, looked awful.
If your position has any sort of LB in it at Georgia, you got a
awful.
Giant F. Big L handed to you today.
Terrible. The young corners. We said keys to the game, Clint, would be the play of the secondary and our ability to get a pass rush on Cook.
Okay.
Whoopsie. Because we didn't do either of those things consistently throughout the game. Now, I will say, I thought 3 played really well.
3's fine.
I thought 24 played really well.
He's fine.
And Javon Bullard had an interception at the end of the game.
Stop commenting good things now.
Yep, that's it. That's the end of the good things that I saw from the secondary. Now, 12 had some good plays.
Yeah, Humphreys played well.
6 is an abomination.
Dalen Everett should not be on the field in any meaningful time for the rest of the year for Georgia.
Now, Georgia did what they needed to do to get this win, and largely keyed by some big-time defensive plays. And so there are going to be people, they're in the comments right now, they're telling me, Daniel, the defense is the only reason that Georgia won this game. Nazir Stackhouse, incredible play, great job on him to get that interception when, that led to Georgia getting the ball and eventually kicking a field goal, which pretty well iced the game and put it out of reach. And so, absolutely, Missouri's trying to drive to win the game, to go ahead at least with a field goal or with a touchdown, and Nazir Stackhouse makes a huge play. Obviously, the bullet interception at the end, it's a little bit, that's kind of a garbage time play, but the defense made some decent plays. But overall, Clint, you can't walk away from this game and not say Georgia is vulnerable against the run.
Yeah.
And Georgia's vulnerable against the pass. And that's not good.
Now, hold on, Daniel. What are the 2 ways you can gain yards against a defense? Did you just list them?
No, I've covered them. I've covered them already. I don't feel the need to repeat myself here.
Okay.
So
look, we have a couple of it turns out we have 2 incredible safeties. It just turns out if Bullard and Tyke, depending on what half or where they're playing, just constitutes 1 safety. And then there's Malachi Starts. Lassiter's doing fine. But the edge defense is abjectly abysmal. Linebackers running to the alleys. We've said before, we need an eraser on this team. We need somebody who's an absolute burner when it comes to eraser. We've had it before in Nakobe Dean. We had it before in Roquan Smith. We don't have it this year. No linebackers getting to the alley whatsoever. They're sucking up safeties, and that's where we're vulnerable to the pass, and that's where we have to leave corners on islands, and they're getting cooked out there, except for 3. Again, it's not a good schematic system, and our edge defenders are not getting, they might set the edge when a play is coming their way. That might be true every once in a while, but consistently getting pressure. And this is the key to it all. Your job as a defensive lineman, linebacker, anybody that's coming up and getting hat on hat, helmet on helmet, man on man, getting blocked.
There we go.
You need to get off the block that's in front of you so that you can make a tackle.
You're not supposed to just stand there and let the guy block you? Because based on what I saw today, that's largely what we're getting from this Georgia linebacker.
If you don't move, and if the offensive player in front of you doesn't move you think, I've won, I've stood my ground. No, you've lost because you're
standing there.
You're standing there. You're not affecting the play. This defense has some work to do, Daniel.
Yeah, best offense we played this season.
It was.
The problem is next week Ole Miss comes to town.
Okay,
that's a pretty good offense as well.
What are they known for?
That's a pretty good offense as well. The week after that, we go to Tennessee. Turns out it's been 11 weeks and Tennessee's been figuring some things out. Joe Milton's been figuring some things out, and that offense is all of a sudden starting to come to life. And so, yes, it's the best offense Georgia has played this season, but it's comparable to the offenses Georgia's going to play for the next 2 weeks this season. And this defense is going to have to tighten up because there's a lot to not like about what he saw. But let's talk about the offensive side of the ball after we come back from the break, because we saw some positive things on that side of the ball, and some players need a little bit of recognition that's coming their way. And so if you thought this is all just a little bit too negative for me,
no,
why don't you just stick around, stay right there right after these.
But these are, in fact, Game Time. Game Time app. Go get it right now. Go to gametime.co. It's fantastic. You need last-minute tickets to that Ole Miss game next week. Let's say you've been procrastinating, you've been wondering, you've been sitting around, and now you're thinking to yourself, I want to be in the building for SEC play. I want it nice and cool. I need it later in the fall. I didn't want to
clinch the East next week if we win at Ole Miss. It's a big week to be in the stadium.
It's a big, big week to be in the stadium. Get over to Game Time right now. Use promo code Locked On College, $20 off. You put in Locked On College, $20. Whatever you put in, you get $20 off. Daniel and I have used this. We went to the Kentucky game in Athens. We used this app. It was simple. It was just seamless all the way through. Great customer care, great customer service. GameTime.co. Download the app today. Use promo code Locked On College for $20 off. It's the only place that we will go to buy tickets. They're our new friend. M-Dubs is not our friend, but Game Time is our new friend.
Game Time is. We found a good one.
Get over there right now. GameTime.co. Download the app. Locked On College, $20 off. Let's hand out some exciting awards or accolades or good news. Let's talk about good news.
Yeah, good news is good.
Good news number one. We got 2 dudes who can tote the freaking rock, Daniel. My goodness.
They can get it when it needs to be gotten, and they were not getting a stitch of help from this offensive line, Clint. They were not being blocked for. There were not holes being opened up. But Daijun Edwards and Kendall Milton are now they didn't have the running yards that we hoped that they would. They didn't have the effectiveness that we necessarily predicted that they would in this game. But when it mattered, when we needed it, when the game was on the line, these guys were able to go get it. And without using any triggering phrases for Clint.
Okay, don't do it.
Legitimately complement each other very well. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that?
That is
These
fair,
two backs
Daniel.
legitimately complement each other, both in style of running and difficulty to defend. They complement each other very well. I love these two guys, and I love the rotation. I would honestly love to see Milton get a few more carries.
Honestly,
I'd love for this to be more of a 50-50 situation.
I think the absolute craziness of this team is that we could become a power running team and be just fine.
Well, there's one critical component to a power running team that we need to possess first.
Well, okay. Sure.
We have the backs to become
a
power running team.
This is the positive time, Daniel. This is overreaction. First of all,
who I am.
Overreaction and positivity. So let me overreact to positivity about these two backs. Milton is a freak. Guys bouncing off of him. Edwards is so slippery, not getting squared up at all. Love what this guy does. Loves what he brings to the game. Fantastic. These running backs were incredible. But Daniel, let's now go to a man who is healthy.
Let's do that.
And we said, do whatever you need to do to remain healthy all year. Miss every
best
practice.
Wide receiver in the SEC.
Just become the best wide receiver in the
Missouri
SEC.
fan, you still here?
Hey, Mizzou fan, what's
still
up?
Around, Mizzou fan? Because
we're talking
about the best wide receiver in the SEC right now.
Well, they're typing furiously that if their wide receiver was healthy, this game would have been different. And if it was played on a neutral site, this game wouldn't be different. And if they had the recruitment and the players that we did, this game would be different. And
did they turn into a Florida fan all of a sudden?
They did.
Ladd McConkey is the best wide receiver in the SEC, Clint. He can absolutely just go and get it.
But Daniel, he's just like a route runner.
Well, he's
right?
a little undersized. He doesn't really have that explosiveness to his
doesn't
game.
He can't go up and get the contested ball down the middle.
Not really
of the
best athlete on the field if you look at it.
He's kind of a do hard. He's a try hard gym.
There you go. Or he is nearly impossible to tackle. He is a threat to score a touchdown every single time that he touches the ball. And he is the best change of direction in the SEC. When this guy has the ball in his hands, he is an absolute force. Georgia's offense is getting him back at exactly the right time. We desperately need him in this game. There were other guys that stepped up in this game. Shout out to Dom Lovett, who sometimes you worry when a guy wants it that bad.
Yes.
You worry. Dom Lovett didn't give us any reason to worry. He was absolutely fantastic. But Clint, can we real quick talk about Oscar Delp? Because guys, Oscar Delp is doing things that I don't care how high you were on him at the beginning of the season. You weren't thinking about that guy.
You undersold him.
You undersold him significantly. I am tired of all the Brock Bowers backup talk about Oscar Delp from commentators. That man ain't Brock Bowers backup.
No.
That's like calling Marcus Rosemey Ladd McConkey's backup. See, the thing is that they both play at the same time all the time, so they're not really a backup of one another.
No.
Georgia has two starting tight ends. They have one healthy starting tight end from the beginning of the season, and guess what? He can absolutely go out and get it. The perimeter blocking of this guy has become a legitimate thing of beauty in the last 2
games. It was a liability
games.
at the beginning of the season.
100%
And he got coached up. He took his assignment very, very seriously. And he's turned into a guy who is sealing edges and making alleyways for our wide receivers and running backs in a giant way. Daniel, thrilled
but then
to see.
In the pass game, Clint,
Here we go.
The man can just he can get open. You can run him down the middle. You get him down there on the goal line. He just sits down and makes the catch exactly where you want him.
That tight end catch was a 6-7 yard touchdown reception that looked simple. But I'm here to tell you, when you are that big, that strong, have that much force and strength, and you're able, and by the way, Carson Beck,
and you're moving,
perfect ball placement.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are going in one direction and you have the strength, the control, the agility to stop, sit down, and then the bend and the flexibility to get down and get that perfectly placed ball.
Catch that back here.
Again, 6 yards, and you're like, well, whatever. No, ho-hum. It was not ho-hum. That was
Delp's a weapon.
He's a dude.
Oscar Delp's a weapon. Now, we're going to come back after this. We've got lots more to discuss.
Are we going
to? There's at least 2 names that have not been discussed yet that desperately need to be discussed. No, I'm not going to start there, Clint. So, yeah, that's right. Dubs, come back for the 3rd segment. You'll see.
As Dubs is coming back, we want to let you know about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is fantastic. What if we were to ask you a simple question? More or less wins in the SEC straight home games than 25, 26, 27? Shall we just keep on ratcheting and counting them up, Daniel? The amount.
Yeah, they just keep happening. They just keep happening. It's the funny thing.
Georgia win total. Take the over. Prize Picks right now gives you a stat, gives you a player, gives you a stat. You can do NBA, you can do football, you can do baseball when it's in season. Basketball is fantastic because it's getting very, very exciting with the in-game tournament right now. PrizePicks.com/LockedOnCollege. Head over there right now. Use promo code LockedOnCollege for the first deposit match up to $100. Here's what that means. You go over there. It's daily fantasy made easy. It's not you versus Vegas folk. It's not you compiling teams. It's you pick a player. You say, will that player get more or less than projected touchdowns, receptions, yards, passing completions, whatever it is. PrizePicks.com/LockedOnCollege. Use promo code LockedOnCollege for first deposit match up to $100 free money straight to you right now. All right, you said we're going to start with, by the way, welcome to the 199 Overreaction Special. The 199 are our boys and gals.
To the 199. We love talking to so many of you on Subtext. So much fun.
Really quick, 199. Just peep your boys in the coming little bit. Might have some fun little content, fun little things happening in season for the 199 for the loyal 3rd segment.
We do. We've got some things planned. We got some things in the hopper. You enjoy that. It's only going to be for the 3rd segment listeners. And so get excited. Get excited about it.
Okay. You said you were going to go full Ted Lasso on us, Daniel.
Well, I don't have to go Ted Lasso. I'm just going to say the man's name. Peyton Woodring. He come out here and he said, hey, Daniel of the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I saw it written on his towel as he ran onto the field. In your eye hole right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to come out like
Daniel, can we
is this perfect game? Another perfect game from Peyton Woodring. It is a safe place. The 199 is the only people here.
199, the only people here, Daniel. Would you say you had good feelings or bad feelings as he came out to kick the field goal to put us up 9 points, 2 possessions to end the game?
Now listen, I told you this on the text. Okay.
Yeah, you did. You did.
And now you're already outing me on the podcast, which
I didn't out you, but I just asked.
I
said good feelings or bad feelings.
That the text thread was the safe place, but
I said good feelings or bad feelings. You're outing yourself right now. I asked good feelings or bad feelings.
This has nothing to do with his ability as a kicker, right? He's a very good kicker.
Yes.
But we have seen before when there was like a 50-yard field goal, Kirby went for it on 4th down. His long on the season was 44 yards. I questioned whether or not Kirby really trusted him from that range.
And honestly, beyond fair question, Daniel, I think
a few weeks ago, Kirby would not have sent him out there from beyond that range.
Because
Clint, if he misses that field goal, can we just for a moment, if he misses that field goal, Missouri now has the ball down 6 on the 30-yard line with plenty of time on the clock to try to go down and score a game-winning field goal. All they would have had to done was hand the ball off to Schrader 100 times, and he would have eventually scored.
I just
because
got
the sideline is the only thing that tackled him the whole game. If he misses that field goal, that's a heck of a lot of trust that Kirby Smart put in that true freshman to send him out there. Because if you punt the ball with Thorson, I know fans would have hated it, but if you punt the ball with Thorson right there and you put him on the 5-yard line, there ain't no way that Jalen Walker and company is letting them get out of that end zone and go 95 yards and score 7 points and win the game.
By the way, 199. I'm about to rope-a-dope Daniel, just so we all know, just here in a second.
But Woodring came out here and he was nails, Clint. Put the ball straight down the middle with room to spare. This guy's a legitimate weapon, Georgia fans.
Yes.
He has not missed in a month of Sundays. Like, it's been a long time since this kid missed a field goal, and he hit some pressure ones today.
None bigger than that kick right there. I know there was a 30-yarder that was pretty simple and true and all the way through. But man, it told me something. That kick was it was telling. Daniel, here's what it was telling about. Kirby did two things. One, he trusted the kicker. Two, he trusted his defense. As bad as they had looked, he trusted them. Maybe we didn't. He did. Because you're exactly right. Put the game on the line with that much time left in that field position instead of pinning them deep. Good luck. But yeah, Woodring was it. Okay, before I rope a W, what was the other name you wanted to give out?
Carson Beck.
Ooh,
okay. The guy that came out there, put the team on his back in the second half after being lit up in the first half by the worst performance from an offensive line that I've seen in the entire. As this offensive line has looked really bad this year.
It's the valleys have been a lot. Can we just
get none deeper than this? Am I wrong?
Nope. This was the worst. We got whooped all over the place. Every single position got abjectly handed to them. Carson Beck was facing pressure, was getting his jersey dirty. Wasn't great. Admittedly, they blitzed, I think, 123 times, give or take. They blitzed.
Give or take. The man's not a statistician.
We'll ask Dawgs
Josh what the actual number was. Give or take 123.
How close am I to that number, Josh? They blitzed a lot in this game, admittedly.
Yeah,
but the offensive line did not handle it.
I think Beck was rattled early in this game.
There was a couple of throws that he had that were not on target, man coverage with one over the top, and he missed a couple of underneath routes. He missed a couple throws that were behind receivers or underthrown because he had pressure, so he was rattled.
But in the second half.
But then, Daniel,
tell him.
This man can command an entire offensive unit. He can perform every throw. That throw to Ladd, ooh, so picture perfect. That throw to Oscar Delp as well over the middle. That ball with pressure. That ball looks pretty coming out of his hands, spinning down the middle. It's got zip. It's got air on it. And those were, by the way, all Georgia fans who are in the comments. Missouri fans in the comments right now giving excuses. Georgia fans are in the comments nitpicking Carson Beck, saying they wish he had better accuracy on deep throws. How was today's game, folk? Again, a couple of them underthrown and behind throws because he had pressure and he was right a little bit. But then when he had that clean pocket and how about running ability? How about pinpoint accuracy on the run? How about getting first downs when we need it? Carson Beck is a dude. He is a dude all the way through. Love what this guy brings to the table, Daniel.
All right. Clint, go ahead. Shoot your shot. You're gonna give me the business here? What's gonna happen here?
You said, I'm gonna rope it up. You said, hey, pin him deep, and Jalen Walker and company ain't going to let him out of that. Daniel, you believe in this defense. You believe in this defense.
Well, so the thing is, as I was saying it, I remember the time that we did pin him deep, and then what did they do? They just marched it straight down our throat in the run game.
You believe this defense?
No, I do not. Yes, I hate this defense, Clint. I hate him.
No, you don't.
I hate him. I hate him. The offense is going to have to carry us these last couple weeks of the season. And then I don't even know, Clint.
Yeah.
I think I might need Alabama to win tonight. And by the time most of you watch this game will be over, but we're recording and it hasn't started yet. I think I might need Alabama to win tonight because I can't play an offense that's that good. Like I can't watch it. I'll take my chances against a great defense and an okay average offense of
Ain't
Alabama.
No defense scaring me with this offense, Daniel.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Georgia fan, I might be cheering. Chris Marler, jump on board, jump on the train. I think I might be cheering for Alabama tonight.
This has been Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We'll see you guys next time.
See y'all.